What is going on YouTube? Hayden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we're going to be looking at XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, as well as Litecoin. We're also going to be continuing discussing where we left off in yesterday's video and the day before. As you know, the hot topic for crypto YouTubers is obviously the fact that YouTube is outright banning and giving copyright strikes to practically everybody related to cryptocurrency for no reason. And I wanted to continue discussing that because I did find more news and I did want to share that with you guys. Now, obviously, this is much quicker and much more wrapped up than previously and in yesterday's video, so we won't be spending that much time on it. Otherwise, we will be jumping right into news coming out from the Daily Hodl in regards to Ripple pushing for XRP expansion in Brazil, set to announce new banking partnerships in early 2020. And then I also want to discuss the future predictions of XRP as well as Bitcoin. Obviously, if you guys are new to the channel, definitely make sure to smash that subscribe button. We're about to hit 13,000 subscribers. Woohoo! Otherwise, make sure to turn on post notifications so you don't miss out on any important crypto-related news. And make sure to drop a like. And let's jump into today's episode. So guys, where do we begin? As you guys can see on the screen, this is the past couple of videos. You can see the past 2 days we were discussing, obviously, the crazy news coming out about YouTube banning cryptocurrency on, or cryptocurrency YouTubers on the YouTube platform, and everybody getting crazy pissed off. Very absurd on Christmas Day. Made no sense. Well, here we are now discussing, kind of figuring out, taking advantage and dealing with what has been happening and what we should be doing to basically correct these issues and how to, go around this. I'm speaking for myself and other YouTubers. We did discuss and discover some new information that I would like to continue to talk about. As you guys can see on this Twitter post by The Moon, hopefully you guys know who The Moon is, pretty big crypto YouTuber, but otherwise you can see what he says. He goes, finally an official response from YouTube. Good news. However, I've learned a valuable lesson not to trust or to be too dependent on central authority. I'll try to decentralize my audience from now on. Not sure how he's going to go around doing that, but he says this mistake created some serious issues for YouTubers. As we know, I wasn't affected, luckily, but yeah, it is affecting a lot of people, and I actually heard of some smaller YouTubers getting banned outright, which just blows my mind because I really don't think this is that big of a deal, and I believe we should have the freedom of speech to discuss cryptocurrency, and I don't see how it really affects YouTube that much. But you can see an official response from Team YouTube. Hey there, this was an error on our side during the review process. Your video should be reinstated. The strike's resolved. Let us know if you're seeing otherwise. So when you actually go into here, you can see some other interesting discussions in regards to other YouTubers posting things on The Moon and just coming forward with the fact that they have been banned or are still banned or videos have been pulled down and YouTube has not been responding or fixing them. So very interesting, but YouTube is finally getting into motion. I doubt they can just do this all overnight, so I'm sure in the next couple of days we'll be rolling out with some more news. But enough of that discussion. I just wanted to update you guys with that. I do want to just jump into the technical analysis as well as the interesting article here. As we know, there is separation between XRP and Ripple. Obviously, they are two, I don't want to say completely different things, but one is the company and one is the coin. One is involved with banking systems and one is involved with, obviously, the crypto and trading and things like that. So in regards to Ripple, the company pushing for XRP expansion into Brazil, this is obviously great news. The company is gearing up to announce Brazilian banking partnerships early next year, according to reports. Ripple I don't even want to discuss that, but Ripple is already working with Santander Brazil, which use company's payment messaging system, but so far none of the companies are utilizing XRP. So maybe come some new early development in 2020, they'll actually be moving full forward in other international companies, making obviously bank wiring transfers a lot easier on us and banks. So that's pretty much it. And as just a little background information, an international wire transfer from, let's say, Europe to the United States via Chase, if you're going to send money to Chase via an international bank wire, that's about, I think, it's a $15 fee on a $500 bank wire transfer, which is a lot. $15 for a bank wire transfer. That's a lot. So theoretically, XRP does have quite a bit of useful technology if they can drop that to pennies and it actually supports the customer, because I really don't know how much goes into $15. What is fees that the bank has to pay? Why they're charging me this? I don't know. If you guys have any answers to that, definitely let me know down below. But in regards to the title and what you guys are waiting for, where is this coin going and what could we be expecting in 2020? Price predictions, how high, where are we going to head to? So obviously, we can check out the massive XRP descending triangle triangle, but I also want to spend some time discussing with you the current coin market cap, because we do know from experience that majority of these cryptocurrencies are down. I believe I did refresh the page. Yes, you can see a lot of these things or actually, there's not that many down. We actually had a little spike in volume just today, and you're starting to see this small correction downwards. Bitcoin Cash has really gotten affected, but we are starting to pretty much be consolidating. We really don't have any swing in either direction. Now, for you guys, before we jump into the XRP technical analysis, definitely make sure to check out my Patreon down below. I feel like I haven't mentioned that in quite some time. I did mention it at the end of yesterday's video, but basically, if you guys want to know more about technical analysis, you want to know more about when I'm buying and when I'm selling, and you want first-person point of view, and you have questions about the market and you haven't been able to get a response on YouTube, check out my Patreon, the second link in the description. This gives you access to me personally. We have a ton of people signing up to that, and take advantage of that because it will give you the opportunities to hopefully make some good trades, and you'll also be able to see when I'm investing and when I'm selling, and seeing content before it comes out on YouTube about which trades I'm going to be shorting, selling, leveraging, things like that. So definitely check that out. Otherwise, to discuss this XRP breakout, we know a couple of things right now. We know that on the weekly, as I zoom out, you can see massive, major descending triangle forming right here. Major descending triangle. We're hitting support now. So in regards to a long-term stance, we really don't have much more consolidation to happen before we see what could be a major blow to the upside, a major correction to the upside. You know, we have a bottom here. We have this bottom support. We have it drawn out here, and that's at around 15 to 16 cents, give or take, in between here. So I can't really see us heading lower than that. I really just cannot see us heading lower than that. And I ultimately do anticipate some sort of correction to the upside. Now, most people would graph that this is about as high, and I would say a conservative approach to this, a conservative outlook would be about, I'd say 90 cents, a 90 to a $1 conservative approach to that. What I mean is, if we follow technical analysis and there's no FOMO investing into here and there's no emotional investing, which will obviously probably happen, I could easily see us peaking at $1 conservatively and at least 38 cents, giving us about a 430% jump. Now, just like previously, you can see we've had FOMO investing, and that's made a huge impact on the price. It is definitely very possible that we could see, with a ton of momentum and a ton of emotion from investors, to easily shoot the price up to levels as high as $3.30, like previous all-time highs. It is definitely a massive possibility that we could be retesting that. But in regards to my technical analysis, the way I like to trade, I would ultimately swing for a more conservative approach in between 40 and 90 cents. Now, to get into more technicals, I do want to spend quite a bit of time on Bitcoin too. And as you guys know, the second we see Bitcoin break, so is XRP. XRP is pretty much almost done consolidating. We've had about a year now of just this major descending triangle and major, just downtrend. And you can see, for the most part, this is about the length that we have left ultimately of consolidation to maybe 16 cents within XRP. This is about 78 days. I know that sounds like a lot, and I would be upset too, but 78 days is literally like 2 months, maybe a little bit more than 2 months. And ultimately, that in regards to investing is really a very short period of time. So theoretically, buying in at 16 cents, or even at the price now at 19 cents, maybe that's something I would consider. That could ultimately, if you want a long-term position, open up to a major move to the upside. It may ultimately be this 2020 may be the first year of positive return on investments for XRP, and that's pretty much what I'm trying to explain. Now, for Bitcoin, the coin that's literally been blowing my mind every single day, a coin that we've been trying to short and sell long on DueDEX for the longest period of time. DueDEX, best website in me personally that I've used. Now, obviously, I will be talking about this more in a second, but we know that on Bitcoin, in regards to its technical analysis, we have been trending inside this massive symmetrical triangle for months now. Months on months on months on months. Now, I know there's a ton of new subscribers joining the channel almost every day, which is absolutely awesome. And a quick recap, obviously a lot of you guys know this is pretty much what we're at right now. This is what we're looking at. We know that on the weekly, the RSI is trending quite sideways, 44 in the RSI, plenty of room to move up, plenty of room to move down. We know that we've had in 2017 to 2018 this massive bull run versus consolidation downwards, leading to some sort of symmetrical triangle, and eventually breaking bearish, coming back down to a previous support where the coin pretty much started at for a long-term uptrend. You can see a very slow long-term uptrend. Took about a little over a year for us to retest back down to here. I'll get you the exact date range. This took about, I would say, 100 or 798 days, quite a bit. We can honestly shorten that a little bit, maybe about here where we finally took off to where we retested, which is about 600 days still. That's 2 years that we were on this uptrend, you know, moving far, far away. Obviously, 1 year it was uptrend and the other year was a correction to the downside. But eventually we came back down, retested here, and the second we retested here, we blew up once again. And what I noticed was the similarities within the price action that happened within 2017 and 2018. And I referenced this and overlaid it on top of the 2019 bull run that we did have. And as you guys can see, the 2019 bull run, the second we touched the uptrend, we corrected all the way back up. We had the same symmetrical correction to the downside, similar to what we had in 2017 and 2018. Notice the very odd thing that this symmetrical triangle, we ended up consolidating right in between the weekly high-low middle moving average. You can see right here, and I'll zoom in on that. We were nowhere near it for the longest time, and the second we broke down to the downside, we were trending inside the high-low MMA. Same thing happened in 2019. We shot up, corrected back downwards, and we're doing the exact same thing, trending inside the high-low middle moving average. How peculiar, how odd. Now, here's my guesstimate. I could be wrong, but the way technical analysis is playing out right now, we break bearish, we broke down, we consolidated downwards, we broke this bearish point, and we consolidated down about 40%. So if things play out, the similarities, and I know it could sound like a broken record to some of those people that are old subscribers, but for those of you who are new, which there are quite a bit, over hundreds now that have never actually seen this part, we consolidate down, we break bearish, we hit the bottom support right here. You can see this is ultimately what I'm anticipating, a break to the downside. If we see this correction and this pullback about 30%, this will have an immediate effect on XRP, pulling XRP down about 30%, retesting its support at 16 cents on XRP. The same time, we'll see the consolidation, which is about 40 days, sideways movement, eventually starting to head back up come May of 2020. So we'll have this movement right here. You can see this sideways movement. Same thing will happen on XRP. So we'll break down, and then we'll see that sideways move for that long time. And then finally, when we start to head back up, it will be the same time Bitcoin does. So when we see this sideways movement, the sideways movement turn into an uptrend and swing upwards, it will be that same time. So we'll have that correction downwards, the sideways movement, and then we'll start to swing and head back upwards. Very similar movements, very similar patterns, and ultimately that's how I honestly predict the market to trend and trade out. You can see we did break. And here's another thing to pay attention to. See where Bitcoin broke its bearish support right here. So we had support and we trended about, I would say, 45 on the RSI, and then we broke downwards. Same thing right now. We're trending at about 45 on the RSI, and then we can ultimately predict that we're going to be breaking downwards. That's my bet. This will obviously lend us into shorting, and that's what I plan on doing, is shorting the cryptocurrency for this bit of a drop, which is about, I would say, 2 or 3 weeks. It really doesn't matter, because the second we do hit this low, we're going to have the consolidation, and we can sell off at any point during that time period before we have to leverage it and long the coin back upwards. But you can see this is ultimately the pattern that I am predicting, and we will be taking advantage of this on DueDEX. I know we've had tons of consolidation. The price in the coin has not moved really anything in the past couple of days, so there's no real reason to be using DueDEX right now. But it's nice to have the account set up. I've tested it. I've used it. I've withdrawn from it. It's an awesome website. It is the first link in the description. And I highly recommend it if you're looking to buy long, sell short, you want to make those leverage trades. That's the opportunity to do so on this website. It is an awesome, awesome, awesome website. They even do a sign-up bonus, which is pretty cool if you ask me as well. But merely it's a waiting game right now. Honestly, you could buy into DueDEX right now. I may be buying into DueDEX right now. I may give it a little more thought and support. I'm waiting for that correction. I'm waiting for the point where we see that confirmation, where we either start to trend above the RSI, where we start to break above here, above the resistance, and we start heading back up, or if we can break below the support and we start to head back down. The second I see the confirmation, I'll be buying back in. But that's pretty much going to wrap up today's video, guys. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, as you can see right here. Turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up, and I will see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.